You've been told your whole life that you need 8 hours of sleep. One block, uninterrupted, every night. And if you can't do it, something is wrong with you. But what if the 8-hour sleep is one of the biggest lies modern civilization ever told you? What if the way you're supposed to sleep was invented less than 200 years ago, and before that, humans slept completely differently? Because here's what the science actually shows. For most of human history, nobody slept the way you're trying to sleep. And the ancient version? It was stranger, and in some ways smarter, than anything we do today. Let's start with the oldest bed ever found. Sibudu Cave, South Africa, 77,000 years ago. Archaeologists digging through layers of ancient sediment found something they didn't expect: a sleeping mat. Not stone, not dirt, a deliberately constructed sleeping surface. It was made from sedgegrass and rushes, plants that grow near rivers. Carefully layered, about the size of a modern single mattress. But here's the detail that changes everything. Underneath the grass, woven into the base layer, were leaves from a specific tree, Cryptocarya woodii. Those leaves contain natural chemicals that repel mosquitoes, flies, and mites. 77,000 years ago, someone chose those specific leaves on purpose. They weren't just sleeping on the ground, they were engineering their sleep environment. And when the mat got dirty or infested, they burned it and built a new one on top of the ash. At Sibudu alone, archaeologists found over a dozen layers of burned sleeping mats, spanning thousands of years. The same spot, the same family group, sleeping, burning, rebuilding. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. In 1990, psychiatrist Wehr ran an experiment. He took a group of people and removed all artificial light for a month. Within a few weeks, their sleep patterns completely changed. They stopped sleeping 8 hours straight. Instead, they slept about 4 hours, woke up, were awake for 1 to 2 hours, then slept another 4 hours. This pattern has a name: segmented sleep, or historically, first sleep and second sleep. And once researchers started looking, they found this pattern everywhere in history. Medieval European documents describe people waking between their two sleeps, getting up, praying, having sex, visiting neighbors, reading by candlelight. It wasn't insomnia, it was normal. The quiet hours between midnight and 3 a.m. were considered their own kind of time, a liminal space between two worlds. The 8-hour block only appeared after gas lighting, then electric lighting, made it possible to stay awake longer at night. We pushed our bedtime later, compressed 2 sleeps into 1, and called the result natural. It isn't. In 2017, scientists did something remarkable. They went to Tanzania and studied the Hadza people, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes. They attached sleep monitors to 33 adults and recorded their sleep for 20 days. What they found overturned decades of assumptions. The Hadza didn't all sleep at the same time. Over a period of 220 hours of monitoring, there were only 18 minutes when every single adult was asleep simultaneously. 18 minutes out of 220 hours. Someone was always awake, not because they planned it, not because of a schedule. It emerged naturally from the variation in individual sleep patterns. Young people sleep later. Older people sleep earlier. Some are night owls, some are early birds. In a modern world, we call this conflicting schedules and try to fix it. In the ancient world, it was the security system. Researchers call it the sentinel hypothesis. The tribe never went fully dark. If a predator approached at 3 a.m., someone would be awake to see it. Your night owl tendencies, your grandmother who wakes at 4 a.m., they're not disorders, they're ancient adaptations, still running in your biology. Ancient humans didn't sleep alone. They slept in groups, around fire, and that changed everything about what sleep meant. Fire served multiple purposes at night. It kept predators away, it kept the group warm, it provided light for the hours between sleeps, but it also had to be maintained. Someone had to stay close enough to add wood when it died down. Sleep and firekeeping created a natural rotation of wakefulness across the group. The fire wasn't just warmth, it was the reason people took turns being alert. And who you slept next to wasn't random. Archaeological burial sites and studies of modern hunter-gatherers show that sleep position within the group reflected social hierarchy and trust. The most vulnerable, children, the sick, the elderly, slept in the center. Warriors and hunters slept on the outside. Your sleeping position was a statement about your role in the group. For ancient humans, sleep wasn't just rest, it was a doorway. Virtually every ancient culture on Earth, without any contact with each other, developed the same belief, that dreams were messages. From ancestors, from gods, from the world beyond this one. The Egyptians built dream temples where people slept for days waiting for divine visions. The Greeks had incubation rituals, sleeping in sacred spaces to receive healing dreams. Indigenous cultures across every continent use dreams to make decisions, find food, resolve conflicts. And here's what makes this interesting. Modern neuroscience has confirmed that during REM sleep, the brain is processing emotional memories, running simulations, making unexpected connections. We now know that dreams are functional. They help us process trauma, solve problems, rehearse social scenarios. Ancient humans didn't know the mechanism, but they understood the output, and they built entire spiritual systems around it. Ancient humans also slept differently depending on the time of year. Without artificial light, your sleep is directly controlled by the sun. In winter, long nights, more sleep. In summer, short nights, less sleep. Some researchers believe that ancient humans slept up to 10 or 11 hours in midwinter and as few as 5 or 6 in midsummer. This seasonal variation isn't just historical curiosity. It explains why so many people feel tired and low in winter, and why pushing through on the same 6-hour schedule year-round fights your own biology. Your body still expects seasonal sleep. It's still running on ancient code. The sun goes down at 4:30 in December and something in you wants to sleep. That's not weakness. That's 300,000 years of evolution still operating inside you. So what happened to all of this? Industrial Revolution, electric light, the factory shift. When factories needed workers at consistent hours, segmented sleep became a problem. You couldn't afford to be awake between your first and second sleep. The shift started at 6 a.m. and it didn't care about your biology. The 8-hour model was designed around industrial productivity, not human biology. And we've been trying to conform to it ever since, while millions of people lie awake at 2 a.m. wondering what's wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with them. They're experiencing the natural waking period between first and second sleep. Their ancient brain activated, right on schedule. Modern sleep science is slowly catching up to what ancient humans knew, that sleep should flex with the seasons, that waking at night isn't failure, that the hours between sleeps can be the most creative of your day, and that sleeping together, in groups, with variation, with someone always awake, wasn't primitive, it was sophisticated, a system that kept our species alive for hundreds of thousands of years. The oldest bed in the world was made of grass and insect-repelling leaves 77,000 years ago. The person who built it went to sleep listening to the African night, woke up a few hours later, lay in the dark, thought whatever it is ancient humans thought about, then drifted back to sleep. And when they woke again, the fire was still burning, because someone had been watching. Which of these facts hits you hardest? The 2-sleep cycle? The Hadza never all sleeping at once? The 77,000-year-old bed? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. And if you want more stories about the ancient humans who are still running code inside you, subscribe. Hit the bell. I'll see you in the next